I'm gonna try something a little different today. I'm gonna try and do a review of a full album. I'm gonna break it up into individual videos so that people can watch them separately. But I'm gonna shoot these all at the same time, so my trademark smoking in every video is probably not gonna happen because I don't really want to take 15 dabs in a row. I mean, it sounds fun and all, but I got stuff to do today. So, that's pretty much the bottom line there. The video today, the first few videos, it's going to be sponsored by the G74, the No Diddy No Doubt. Again, I don't understand why it has the No Diddy No Doubt on there. Let's see if I can get it clear. There we go. That looks kind of clear. All right, so G74 from Fruit and Fuel. It's pretty good, actually. I like it. I give it a 4.3 rating on a 5 scale. So, on a 5 scale. All right, so let's get into this. The name of the first track that we're going to be listening to today is called Between the Lines. And again, this is the Atmosphere Lucy Ford album. Track number 1 is Between the Lines. So we'll start with that one.
What it is, it ain't, and what it ain't, it is a theme of a Virgoing.
Think he keeps his head on straight? Can you feel his rhythm? What do you think he visions when he squints at the line from behind those shades? Feel the summer's crest, overdressed in so much sweat. His skin begins to shake, it's the surface sweat. The nervous mess, overbearing and jaded from carrying the weight. Irritated and constipated, and a tall cup of player hated, funneled and consolidated into the shell of one man with a gun, riding that thin line between the program and the sun. And I don't hate you, I'm trying to relate to, wishing you could find a trap door to escape through. But if I see you as a threat to my seedling or my sibling, I'll die to pull the plug on your machine. And I just
So this was written, I think this was released in about 2000 or 2001, I want to say, because that's about the time I remember jamming this is in my car was like '01. This was like one of my favorite albums to listen to around that time. But this whole song, Between the Lines, he's talking about the policeman that whole time. And if you go back and listen to those lyrics, or I could go through them really quickly. See the policeman, notice the lonely man. How do you think he keeps his head on straight? Can you feel his rhythm? What do you think he visions when he squints at the line from behind those shades? Because he's probably got those the I'm a douchebag shades on, because it's typical police sunglasses attire. From the summer's crest, overdressed, so much weight, so much sweat, his skin begins to chafe. Having to wear that uniform all the time with all that stuff on, the bulletproof vest. It's got to be overdressed in the summer. It's the surface wet, the nervous mess, overbearing and jaded from carrying the weight. Like I said, carrying all that weight. Irritated and constipated. So he's kind of guessing a little bit there, but I imagine sitting in a car all the time doesn't help that bowel movements very well. It's all covered, player hated, funneled and consolidated. Like it's all covered. The players, which the players of this case to be the police, are hated. It's all funneled and consolidated into the shell of one man with a gun, right in that thin line between the program and the sun. So the thin line between the program and the sun would be like the thin line between the thin blue line. The difference between a criminal and a cop. There's a very thin blue line in between those two things. And he's saying, I don't hate you. I'm trying to relate to, wishing you could find a trap door to escape through. But if I see you as a threat to my seedlings or my siblings, I'll die to pull the plug on your machine. So in other words, I'll die to pull the plug on your whole program, your machine. A lot of relevance in today's world still. So let's get back into this here. All right, let's go.
It's a threat to my seedling or my sibling. I'll die to pull the plug on your machine. And I might just find somebody. And I might just love somebody. And I might just feel somebody. I might just kill somebody. And I might just find somebody. I might just love somebody. And I might just feel somebody. I might just kill somebody. Can you see her? She spends her whole day in the theater, living her time in the life that she would prefer. And she stirs nothing, comes and goes as she wishes, surroundings oblivious to her whole existence. But if they only knew about the thoughts she can't seem to stop from coming through, coming across at a loss for dialogue, walking through the fog with her eyes closed and her mind gone. And now she lives in the films that she sees, in daydreams that she kills us repeatedly. I'm impressed with the tolerance she brandishes. If it was me, I would have snapped from the sheer over anxiousness. I'm waiting for the day she strolls through muddy waters and slaughters sons and daughters and bloody mothers and fathers. Lovely little case study, castaway cutie, masturbating in the back of that matinee movie. And someday, one day, when the credits roll, she'll hold a pocket full of gunplay for the ignorant souls. Then we'll know to what depth awake touches sleep. May we walk the thin line between shallow and deep.
So in the next verse here, he's telling another story about a girl, a different story from the police officer. He's talking about a girl. Can you see her? She spends her whole day in the theater, living her time in a life that she would prefer, and she steers nothing, comes and goes as she wishes. So basically, she spends all of her time in the theater watching movies that she prefer to live her life in. She's in the real world. She's not really noticed. And so anyway, surroundings oblivious to her whole existence. But if they only knew about the thoughts she can't seem to stop from coming across at a loss for dialogue, walking through the fog with her eyes closed, her mind gone. And now she lives in the films that she sees in daydreams that she kills us repeatedly. So she's watching these films and it's these people, that she wishes she could kill people like they do in the movies, like it was just the movies. And I'm impressed with the tolerance she brandishes, because if it was me, I would have snapped from the sheer over anxiousness. I'll wait for the day she strolls through muddy waters and slaughters sons and daughters and bloodies mothers and fathers. Lovely little case study, castaway cutie, masturbating in the back of that matinee movie. And someday, one day, when the credits roll, she'll hold a pocket full of gunplay for the ignorant souls. So shoot up the movie theater. Then we know to what death awake, touch the sleep, make me walk the thin line between shallow and deep. And then he goes back into the hook. So this is kind of a deep song, actually, when you really think about it. So, all right, let's go back into this here. Let him finish it out here.
Find somebody. I might just love somebody. And I might just feel somebody. I might just kill somebody. And I might just find somebody. I might just love somebody. And I might just feel somebody. I might just kill myself. He used to write his rhymes and recite his lines all the time. Sometimes he'd make them up right off the top of his mind. After doing shows for years, getting respect from peers, killed the ego looking at these people like they're weird. Road trips turn into head trips, became a hunger for sedatives and eccentric etiquette. Optimism needs to feed off self-esteem, but it seems as if he doesn't see and hasn't felt a thing. Records sell well, but still underground. Travels town to town, holding hands with fans that love the sound. When it comes around, let's hope he can enjoy it. Don't slow down momentum, afraid he might destroy it. When he stops to shake the hand, I doubt they understand that here now stands only the shadow of a man, having a hard time with life on a drum roll. Walking that high wire, passing it off as humble, but it's a thin line between screams and smiles. He's seen the miles, wishing he could go home and read to his child. But tonight's the last day, put the button in the ashtray, lock the door and slit both wrists backstage. And I might just find somebody. I might just love somebody.
Here in the last verse, I feel like he's talking about himself. When he's saying he used to write his rhymes and to recite his lines all the time. Sometimes he'd make them up right off the top of his mind. After doing shows for years, getting respect from peers, kill the ego looking at these people like they're weird. Road trips turn into head trips, become a hunger for sedatives and eccentric etiquette. Optimum needs to feed off self-esteem, but it seems that he doesn't see it, hasn't felt a thing. Or he hasn't felt a thing. Records sell well, but still underground. This is describing atmosphere, so he's got to be talking about himself. Travels town to town, holding hands with fans that love his sound. When it comes around, let's hope he can enjoy it. Don't slow down momentum, afraid he might destroy it. When he stops to shake the hand, I doubt they'll understand. Now here now lies only the shadow of a man, having a hard time with life on the drum roll. He's constantly on the move, on the drum roll. Walking that high wire, passing it off as humble. But it's a thin line between screams and smiles. Seen the miles, wishing he could go home and read to his child, like all that time on the road is getting to him. But tonight's the last day with the butt in the ashtray. Lock the door, slip both wrists backstage. So he's feeling like he's done for. But again, it's called Read Between the Lines. So these are 3 scenarios of 3 separate people that all have interesting lives, basically. So yeah, let's get back in and let him finish this out here with what he's trying to say. Let's go. Alright.
Might just find somebody, I just might just love somebody, and I just might just feel somebody, I just might just kill somebody, and I just might just find somebody, I just might just love somebody, and I just might just feel somebody, I just might just kill somebody, and onwards, forwards, continuance, renaissance, encore, ignorance, wrapped inside of innocence, onward, forward, continuance, renaissance, encore, ignorance, wrapped inside of innocence, onward, forward, continuance, renaissance, encore, ignorance, wrapped inside of innocence, nothing but love for the music and its offspring, bouncing off of the box springs, trying to make it to the cross. I just might just, I just might just, I just might just, I just might just,
So this was here, this is going to be Between the Lines. Like I said, it's a little bit deeper of a song than you might think, especially for an intro song. But I like this one. It's not my favorite on the album, but we'll get into my favorites when we hit them. So I have quite a few though. That's why I used to bump this album constantly, because I used to listen to almost every song. There wouldn't be very many that I would skip ever. Alright. And that was Between the Lines. So next we're going to get into Like Today, and we'll do that in another video here.